Hey guys, welcome to a new update from Wagon Trails. We are Igor and Amanda, and we are traveling in our camper van with our two dogs, Rocket and Gabby. A lot has happened and many miles have been covered since our update. So if you're returning after another video, thank you so much. And if you're new and this is your first video, then welcome. Let's get into it. So our last update ended in Big Sky, Montana. We just arrived there. Since then, Rocket has been being his ridiculous self. Gabby had 12 days in her cone after her tail surgery in Idaho, but this did not slow her down even the slightest bit.
Get her, Rocket. Get her.
After we picked her up from the vet, we immediately started heading to Montana, but the dogs had to play before we could. We quickly fell in love with Big Sky Resort and ended up spending 3 days here. We met great people. We stumbled upon the boundary for the exclusive Yellowstone Club, the world's only private ski and golf resort. Big Sky really gave us the best of both skiing worlds. We got about 6 inches of fresh powder the day we arrived, so just like a winter day. But the lack of crowds screamed spring skiing. Seriously, guys, often it felt like we had the mountain completely to ourselves for entire runs. And this mountain is huge, one of the largest I've ever been to, and the runs were so beautiful and so long.
Hey Amanda, where are we?
We are at the top of Powder Seeker at Big Sky, Montana. I don't know if I've ever come off a ski lift and seen anything this beautiful before. It's unbelievable. This mountain is gorgeous. At Big Sky, I boarded my first bowl, which is a naturally occurring concave terrain, usually on the upper part of the mountain. It was like a giant snowy amphitheater and was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had snowboarding. Après-ski, we had a couple of local brews, caught some excellent live country music courtesy of Mercedes Carroll, who I had never heard of before, but I immediately started following on Spotify. And we explored the town of Big Sky a bit with the pups. So after Montana, we headed a bit west to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho / Spokane, Washington area. We have a good friend, Elena, who is from there, and although she lives in Costa Rica now, she just so happened to be in town, and we happened to be so close by, so it was serendipity. We were able to meet up with her. We spent a couple of days with her and her family, and also took some time to reset. We it's laughable that we are making YouTube videos because both Igor and I are really terrible at videoing and taking pictures. We just kind of like live in the moment sometimes and then get back from trips and say like, who was taking pictures? Nobody. But so we don't really have any pictures, or very, very few from our time with Elena, but it was really special and we were really happy that we were able to see her. Here, Gabby and Rocket are waiting. They have no idea what's in store. Gabby is just excited to have her cone off for a few minutes, and she does not know why.
It's been about a month and a half since the pups have had a bath, and today is laundry day, and then Mark Anthony needed an oil change, so we're taking advantage of that. Everything's close by, and we found this awesome pet store that allows us to bathe our own dogs.
Rocket is super excited about this. He loves getting baths.
Oh yeah.
Gabby's waiting her turn.
Patiently. So, all right, here we go. Nice warm water.
It's all right, Rocket.
It's okay. Good boy. Yes. Sneaky. Oh, sneaky doggy.
You like the little nutty? You're being a good boy, Rocket. So mad right now. It looks
So
like it looks like you're basting him. Delicious. Good boy, Rocket. No. Rocket did indeed survive his bath. And if you notice the music in the background, that is spa music that they play, which is hilarious. Gabby's turn was next, and she gave Rocket a run for his money with her sad face. Both, I think, were auditioning for the next ASPCA commercial. In the arms of the angel, far away. Notice there is no footage of Rocket and the hairdryer. And here's the one and only picture we took with our dear friend Elena. We were so happy to see her. While we were in Coeur d'Alene, we had to take an evening to cheer the Gators to their national championship win. Next up was traveling a short distance north to South Point, Idaho, and Schweitzer Ski Resort, which is only about 40 miles south of the Canadian border. Now, the conditions here weren't great for us at the time we visited. However, Igor already knew he loved this mountain from a previous visit 3 years ago. At that time, we were visiting with our friends Brad and Abby, and although I was there, I was unfortunately sidelined with a broken wrist. Thumbs up to the Canadian ER. Even though our snow wasn't perfect, we had a great time at Schweitzer, and as you can see, everyone loves spring skiing. Schweitzer also was one of the very few resorts we visited that allowed overnight camping on their property. After skiing, we drove the van down into South Point to a riverside spot where, after making some questionable fashion choices, Igor made an amazing dinner that we ate too quickly to even film. We headed north into Alberta to Banff Sunshine Village after that, which wasn't our favorite resort. However, we had a great camping spot and plenty of snowy weather. We're here at Banff. I think it's still winter here.
Yeah. Banff, Alberta. Drove up here yesterday. We're staying at the Banff campground at the national park.
That old mountain.
Huh?
Tunnel Mountain.
Tunnel
I think
Mountain?
is the name of it. Something like that.
Okay. Are you ready?
The first night we were there, the snow dumped, and the pups and I were soaked after this walk. One of the cool things about the ski resorts in Alberta, Canada, is they are all located within the Banff National Park. So the drive to our next stop, Lake Louise, was a treat in and of itself. While Igor drove, I was definitely on the lookout for wildlife. I wanted to see some elk, some moose, maybe even a grizzly, from the safety of the van, of course. Alas, I did not see any of those, but the views were breathtaking regardless. And we drove right over the Continental Divide, which was pretty cool. Mark Vanthony is international. Okay, here we are on the top of a really tall ski slope at Lake Louise in Alberta. The wind was so loud, the audio is unusable. So pretend I'm telling you profound things about my surrounding. Its beauty, its history, and geological features. Maybe I am. Let's pretend together. I actually was just going to trash this footage, but Igor was insistent we use it because, admittedly, he did get some great shots of the mountain ranges at Lake Louise, which was one of the most beautiful spots I've ever been in my entire life. I know I said that about Big Sky, and I say that about Lake Louise too. Two of the most beautiful ski resorts I've ever been to. We're going into the literal sky. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Like I need to be
Say it again. Yeah. Where are we at?
I think we're on top of the world.
No. Well, pretty much.
We are on the Paradise Chair, going to the back bowls of Lake Louise, Alberta, Canada. This is one of the steepest slips I've ever been on.
Literally going to the top of the world. Going up to the sky.
And they have a lift called the top of the world. They are lying. And Igor graciously got a shot of me, miserable, stuck on a completely moguled out black diamond slope. Moguls and snowboarders are not friends. All jokes aside, we fell in love with Lake Louise and, like Big Sky, ended up spending 3 days on the slopes there.
Gabby quietly stalks her prey on top of the mountain.
About this time, it was finally time for Igor to remove Gabby's sutures, and her cone was able to come off.
Queen Gabby on top of her mountain.
Last stop on this leg of the trip was Revelstoke, British Columbia, one of the coolest little mountain towns. All I can say right now about Revelstoke Ski Resort is I definitely want to come back here during peak season when it's really got a lot of snow and the entire mountain is open. It was already half closed because of the spring conditions. I know this mountain is really going to be amazing in the winter, but this is the moment we realized perhaps our spring skiing had come to an end, at least for now. The weather was so warm and beautiful, we vetoed our second planned day on the mountain and spent it at a park beside the Columbia River with the dogs instead. Igor whipped up an amazing brunch. Wow, that's like gourmet. Cinnamon, peanut butter, honey. I'm ready to dig in.
Down.
And Mark Anthony got a much needed spring cleaning. All of our snow gear. Packing it away.
Want any of this? There's some shirts, lightweight jackets in here.
You can maybe pull it out. And now we head to Vancouver for 2 days before we cross back over into the US, headed to Portland. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more.